Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. My name is Anita, and I'm coming at you today with a utility video. I'm going to talk about how I keep up, or try to keep up, with my inked pens and the inks I own, and all of that stuff. So, let's talk how to keep up with your pen life, or at least try to. Okay. I guess I'll start by saying this could be really simple if you have just a couple or a handful of pens. It doesn't have to be complicated at all. But I don't know, like some people tend to be when they're totally into a hobby. I have extras. I am really extra about this pen life that I'm now living. So it's evolved over the past almost 2 years, and I'll show you what I'm doing. And it's not perfect, and there are things I want to tweak, but I'm not sure how I want to tweak them so they are as they are right now. So let's get into it. Okay, we will start with the first thing I did. Move those books out of the way, we'll get back to those. This is a tiny little crate. It's so cute. I picked it up on Amazon, and I got this to create my own ink swatch cards. Now there's some great stuff that you can buy that's already ready to go, but in watching videos, I realized that the paper that was used for the ink swatch cards was probably not something that you'd write on. And I already had paper like that because I'm just extra in whatever I do. So what I did, I used my Cricut machine, which is a die cutting machine, and cut out some cards exactly to the dimensions to fit into this little crate, and made cards. And then the amount of cards in here has grown as I have acquired inks and ink samples. So this was the very first thing that I did. And yeah, I like this. I don't use it to see what the ink would look like on paper. It's more for the color or the color family, so that I can figure out when I'm inking up my pens what they'll look like. And what I do is let me just grab a pen. I will grab a pen that I know I want to use, and I will figure out what ink I want to use with it depending on the other pens in the lineup. And especially if I'm inking up many, like more than 5 or 6, I will go through, I will pick out the shade of, let's say, blue, and I will just stick the card under the clip of the pen, and I will have a line of pens that have their swatch cards, and that way I know what inks to pull out and put in the pens and all that. But that's how I decide what pens I want to ink. So that's the first thing that I did. The second thing, and this is very imperfect. It's by color, but it's not perfect at all. It's just okay. And I'm okay with that. And when I get new inks, eventually I put them in here where they're grouped, but these have not yet been added back there. So they're at the front for now. So that's the first thing, is my little swatch catalog. I love this cute little crate. I don't know what's gonna happen when I outgrow it. Start giving away inks, I don't know. The second thing I did, and I almost forgot about this, I had several notebooks that I picked up from Sterling Ink because I love her stuff. And I made one of them my ink journal, so that I could see how the inks would look on Tomoe River paper, which is what I write on most often. So I just started with, oh, I had a different book. Yes, I didn't have a different book. I'll show you the other book. I started this in August of 2023, and I just started swatching. And it looks like I used a Q-tip to start, judging from the shape of these. And this is more of a chronological catalog of what my inks look like. And to be honest, I don't refer to this that often. It's more of a one-off thing, I would say, where I just swatch the ink in here. I see how it looks, how it behaves on the Tomoe River paper. And I don't often refer back, but I like doing swatching here, like this one. I did this, I think, for a video on the 12th of March last year. This is really pretty. It's Aurora Alice. Look at that. Can you see the sheen? It's really pretty. Let's turn the light on, because there's a bush outside my window blocking part of the light. Yeah, that's better. This is really pretty. So I really like to see what I can expect from an ink as in terms of sheen and the shimmer and the shading. So that's what this book is for. Oh, that's so pretty. Look at Waterman inspired blue. That's why I'm so obsessed with it. This is going to be the first bottle of ink I finish. I already know. I've purposely not been using it because I was I was getting bored with myself. Ah, this is the ink vent for 2024. Oh, I wrote it there. Very good, Anita. Sometimes I forget. I get caught up and then I forget, and it's like, what is that? So anyway, this was one of the second things that I did. But what I did even before that, my currently inked book. This is a Stalogy notebook. I picked it up on Amazon, and this is what I started using. I have stickers because I'm afraid to commit. I did commit with that one. And I just started by writing in this book, which I just use to keep track of my thoughts on pens at the very beginning. And yeah, I haven't used that ink in forever. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know what I was thinking when I bought it. I think I just wanted ink. This was my second month of being into fountain pens. Like, I just wanted everything. So this was interesting. So this book is what I use. Oh, the Noodler's Ahab Flex. Yeah, that was fun. The Quick Brown Fox. I was trying to write with my brush markers, because I usually do digital on the iPad. But anyway, so I just kept notes in here. And then at some point, my pens grew in the collection, and I would more so write about my pen experiences at some point before I cleaned it out. And I'll show you that real quick. But here, for example, this is before I started making videos. July of 2023, they're all so similar. So I inked 3 new pens, and then this is what was left over from the month before. I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do and how I wanted to keep track. So it's been an evolution, as I said, but this book is still what I'm using to keep track each month of my currently inked pens. But I don't, and I've been thinking about this, keep track of what is still inked that I haven't cleaned out. I don't know. That sounds like too much work. I don't think I'll change that. Before cleaning and inking. Okay. So I started making videos in December of 2023. So, oh wow, look at this. I had all these inked pens. It was fun. It was a rainbow of color. I loved it. So yes, this is my format, more or less. And I would keep notes over here, but I felt like that was too much for me, so I stopped doing it that way. But yes, this is what I use every month. And yeah, I think because I inked less pens going forward, it was easier to see what I had made notes on. But as I said, I don't quite do it that way anymore. Oh, that's pretty. I can't read it, it's French. Oh, I think this ink got weird and I had to throw the bottle away. Venta Salimbe. Yeah, and so I love the color, but it got weird, like clumpy, almost like there was evaporation and then there was like a sludge on the top of the ink in the bottle. It was really gross. So I was like, oh, I'm not putting that in a pen, and I threw it away. Yeah, instant panic. If anybody knows what that really was, feel free to let me know in the comments. So yes, this is my currently inked, and oh, fountain pen superlatives. I kept that here. So anything like that with pens and inks is in this book. And I was going to start a new book for the new year, but I said, no, Anita, just finish what you have. Use it up. And where we're at, oh yes, this is when I started making notes of my pens. Just one-offs. The Diplomat Arrow. I'm going to figure out what to do about this. I may change this, take this page and put it in a different book, and I'll show you what I mean. But these are my currently inked pens. Oh, the TWSBI in Iceberg Blue. That was fun. I didn't write the kind of ink was in here. Oops, I have to fix that. The Pelican, yeah, that was great. Look how pretty this is. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's like I'm seeing it for the first time. I wrote this pen dry. I'm still cleaning it. It's over here. Yeah. So yes. Oh, this was fun, but I don't know. Sometimes it's a little funky. I don't know. I like it, but I didn't love it. It could be me. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Oh, this is February's currently inked pens. Not very many. So this is where I keep track of my currently inked life and notes about the pens before I clean them out. So it's all together. And I'm going to change this. I know I'm going to put it somewhere else, but I haven't decided how I'm going to approach it just yet. The next thing is this planner was the next thing that I did. I was previously obsessed with planners. I was collecting. I was using them too, but I was collecting them. And if you look back, way back in the history on this channel, you'll see some of my planner life before I was busy with my Etsy shop. This is my pen binder. So what I do is all the pens that, as I use them, I don't have a page for every pen that I own, but what I did was, as I ink a new pen, I will go to this book. If there's not a page, I'll create one, and then I will write what I've inked it with. And I think what I'm going to do is add the pages from the currently inked book that relate to whichever pen, and add it into here so that I'll have the story. But this is where I keep my inked pens life, so I know what's been in what pen. And I like this. I can see that I haven't used the blue Asvine P20 in a while. It's been a year. Maybe I want to break it out. So yeah, this is what I'm using this for. And this pen, the Asvine V200, is still inked. I'm making progress. I filled it. This is a vacuum filler and I filled it. It was full, but we're getting there. Maybe I'll finish it sometime in March. I keep it handy on the desk. So this is where I have any pen that I have inked, but not all of my pens are here yet because I started this, I don't know, sometime last year. February, January of 2024. Yes, I made my own dividers. I had A4 Tomoe River paper that I picked up on Amazon. And in the interest of being efficient, instead of cutting it to personal size, which fits the planner, I cut it to A6 size so I can have the most bang for my buck. And it's a little bit annoying to punch, to be honest, but that's what I did. And that's how this book is evolving. So I like this. I like knowing that, you know, what I put in a pen. Usually I remember, but not always. And just keeping up. I really like this in this pen. Yeah, so this is cool. And I just have a little grid that I created so I can write straight because it's been my struggle my whole life to write straight. So that is this book. It's all my pens that have been inked beginning in 2024, we'll say. And then most recently, I have created this book. And this is, that was a Filofax in Duck Egg, if you care about that. This is a Filofax in Turquoise, I think. And this one, I just took out the Filofax pages and put my own personal size this time because it's just easier to punch. This book is my ink book because I want to know that I'm using all the inks. And I know I have ones that I just gravitate toward for the color or the performance, but I wanted to know that I'm using all the inks. So I created this book so I can keep up with that. And I don't have a page for every ink because I may not get to some, but as I go along, I check the book. And if I need to, I create a page. So I've decided I will swatch the ink a little bit up in the corner, and then I will write the pen that I put it in. And that is how this book is going to evolve. And I just started this one in January. So this is how I'm keeping up. There's one more thing that I use, and I'll put some screenshots here in the video. I also use a website called Fountain Pen Companion to keep track of only my inks, because it's real easy to get out of control with inks. I mean, you can with pens, but pens, there's more friction buying a pen than there is buying ink, right? Inks are much cheaper. So I use Fountain Pen Companion to keep up with my inks, and I can see if I have samples or bottles, and also if I'm doing an ink swap with someone. This came up when I first did a swap and I wasn't using it yet. They could see, the person I'm swapping with, what inks I have and don't have, and not send me something I have, or you can just make an informed choice when you're swapping. So that's interesting. So that's what I use as well. And I just use it to keep up with my inks. So when I get a new ink, I create a swatch card. I swatch it in my notebook. This is what you will see in my videos, me swatching in here. And now I create a page when I put it in a pen. Yes, when it goes in a pen, because I may buy an ink and not put it in a pen. And what am I going to do? Flip through the pages and then I don't use it, and then it already has writing on it? I don't know. That's my process for now. It's an evolution. So that is what I do. And like I said, this is a work in progress of keeping track. And hopefully there's something in here that's useful, and maybe me listening back to this as I edit it will give me some insight into something I could do a little better or something like that. And there are some redundancies, but I'm cool with that because I just like writing with fountain pens. So this doesn't all have to be, you know, analog. It can totally be digital and it'd be much more efficient. Or if you don't have a lot of pens, you don't have a lot to worry about. But that's how I keep up with all the things. Hopefully this helped you out a little bit. If you have any comments about something you see that might work better or an idea for yourself, share it in the comments, because that's how I learned a lot, was of course checking out videos, but there is gold in the comments when people talk to each other about what's going on. I have learned a lot that way, and I share what I know if I have something to add. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.